Today we are going to start a new book with name Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma. This book has 101 chapters. So let's start one by one from the first chapter, which is Discover Your Calling. When I was growing up, my father said something to me I will never forget. Son, when you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice. We live in an age where we have forgotten what life is all about. We can easily put a person on the moon, but we have trouble walking across the street to meet a new neighbor. We can fire a missile across the world with pinpoint accuracy, but we have trouble keeping a date with our children to go to the library. We have emails, fax machines, and digital phones so that we can stay connected. And yet, we live in a time where human beings have never been less connected. We have lost touch with our humanity. We have lost touch with our purpose. We have lost sight of the things that matter the most. And so, as you start with this book, I respectfully ask you, who will cry when you die? How many lives will you touch while you have the privilege to walk this planet? What impact will your life have on the generation that follow you? And what legacy you will have left behind after you have taken your last breath? One of the lessons I have learned in my own life is that if you don't act on life, life has habit of acting on you. The day slips into weeks, the weeks slip into months, and the months slip into years. Pretty soon, it's all over and you are left with nothing more than a heart filled with regret over a little half life lived. Bernard Shaw was asking on his deathbed, what would you do? What Bernard Shaw was asked on his deathbed, what would you do if you could live your life over again? He reflected, then replied with a deep sigh, I'd like to be the person I could have been but I never was. I've written this book that this will never happen to you. As a professional speaker, I spend much of my work life delivering keynote addresses at the conference across North America, flying from city to city, sharing my insights on leadership in business and in life with many different people. Though they all come from diverse walks of life, their questions invariably center on the same things these days. How can I find greater meaning in my life? How can I make lasting contribution to my work? And how can I simplify so that I can enjoy the journey of life before it's too late? My answer always begins the same way. Find your calling. I believe we all have special talents that are just waiting to be engaged in a worthy pursuit. We are all here for some unique purpose, some noble objective that will allow us to manifest our higher human potential, while we, at the same time, add value to the lives around us. Finding your calling doesn't mean you must leave your job you now have. It simply means you need to bring more to yourself into your work and focus on the things you do best. It means you have to stop waiting for other people to make the changes you desire. And Mahatma Gandhi noted, be the change you wish to see in the world. And once you do, your life will change. Every day, be kind to strangers. This is chapter 2. On his deathbed, Aldous Huxley reflected on his entire life's learning and then summed it up in 7 simple words. Let us be kinder to one another. And too often, we believe that in order to live a truly fulfilling life, we must achieve some great act or grand feat that will put us on the front covers of magazines and newspapers. Nothing could be further away from the truth. A meaningful life is made up of a series of daily acts of decency and kindness, which ironically adds up to something truly great over the course of a lifetime. Everyone who enters your life has a lesson to teach, and a story to tell. Every person you pass during the moments that make up your days represent an opportunity to show a little more of the compassion and courtesy that define your humanity. Why not start being more of a person you truly are during your days and doing what you can to enrich the world around you? In my mind, if you make even one person smile during your day or brighten the mood of even one stranger, your day has been a worthwhile one. Kindness, quite simply, is the tent we must pay for the space we occupy on this planet. Become more creative in the ways you show compassion to strangers, paying the toll for the person in the car behind you, offering your seat on the subway to someone in need, and being the first to say hello and greet places are great places to start. Recently, I received a letter from the reader of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, who lives in Washington State. In it, she wrote, "I have a practice of tithing to people who have helped me along my spiritual path. Please accept the enclosed check of $100 with my blessing and gratitude." I quickly responded to her generous act by spending one of my audio tape programs in return, so she received the value of the gifts she sent to me. Her gesture was a great lesson in the importance of giving sincerity and from the heart. Chapter 3. Maintain your perspective. One day, according to an old story, a man with serious illness was wheeled into a hospital room where another patient was resting on a bed next to the window. As the two became friends, the one next to the window would look out of it and there spend the next few hours delighting his bedridden companion with vivid descriptions of the world outside. Some days he wanted to describe the beauty of the trees in the park across from the hospital and how the leaves danced in the winds. On the other days, he would entertain his friend with step-by-step replays of the things people were doing as they walked by the hospital. However, as times went on, the bedridden man grew frustrated at his inability to observe the wonders his friends described. Eventually, he grew to dislike him, and then to hate him intensely. One night, during a particularly bad coughing fit, the patient next to the window stopped breathing. Rather than pressing the button for help, the man chose to do nothing. The next morning, the patient who had given his friend so much happiness by recounting the sights outside the window was pronounced dead and wheeled out of the hospital room. The other man quietly asked that his bed was placed next to the window, a request that was complied with the attending nurse. But as he looked out of the window, he discovered something that made him shake. The window faced a stark brick wall. His former roommate had conjured up the incredible sights that he described from his imagination as a loving gesture to make the world of his friend a little bit more better during the difficult time. He had acted out of selfless love. The story never fails to create a shift of my own perspective when I think about it. To live happier, more fulfilling lives, when we encounter a difficult circumstance, we must keep shifting our perspective and continuously ask ourselves, is it wiser, more enlightened way of looking at this seemingly negative situation? Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest physicists ever, is reported to have said that we live on a minor planet of a very average star located within our outer limits of one of 1,000 million galaxies. How's that shift in perspective? Given this information, are your troubles really that big? Are the problems you are experienced or the challenges you might currently be facing really as serious as you have made them out to be? We walked this planet for such a short time. In the overall scheme of things, our lives are mere blips in the canvas of eternity. So we have the wisdom to enjoy the journey and savor the process. Chapter 4. Practice true love. Practice tough love. Chapter 4. The golden thread of highly successful and meaningful life is self-discipline. Discipline allows you to do all the things you know in your heart you should do, but never feel like doing. Without self-discipline, you will not set clear goals, manage your time efficiently, treat people well, persist through the tough times, for your health, and think positive thoughts. I call the habit of self-discipline tough love, because getting tough with yourself is actually a very loving gesture. By being stricter with yourself, you will begin to love more deliberately, on your own terms, rather than simply reacting to life the way a leaf floating in the stream drift according to the flow of the current on a particular day. As I teach in one of my seminars, the tougher you are on yourself, the easier you will be on you. The quality of life ultimately is shaped by the quality of your choices and decisions. Once that range from the career you choose to pursue the book you read, the time that you wake up every morning, and the thoughts you think during the hours of your days. When you consistently flex your willpower by making those choices that you know are the right ones, rather than the easy ones, you take back control of your life. Effective, fulfilled people do not spend their time doing what is more convenient and comfortable. They have the courage to listen to their hearts and to do the thing that is wise. The habit is what makes them great. The successful people has the habit of doing the things failure don't like them to do. Remarked essayist and thinker E.M. Gray. They don't like doing them either, necessarily, but their disliking is subordinated by the strength of their purpose. The 19th century English writer Thomas Henry Huxley arrives at a similar conclusion, noting, perhaps the most valuable result of all education is the ability to make yourself do the thing you have to do when it is out to be done, whether you like it or not. And Aristotle made this point of wisdom in yet another way. Whatever we learn to do, we learn by actually doing it. Man became to be builders, for instance, by building, and harp players by playing the harp. In the same way, by doing just acts, we come to be just. By doing self-controlled acts, we come to be self-controlled. And by doing brave acts, we come to be brave. Chapter number 5. Keep a journal. Maintaining a daily journal is one of the best personal growth initiatives you will ever take. Write down your daily experiences along with the lessons you have drawn from them. Writing down will make you wiser by each passing day. It will make you wiser by each passing day. You will develop self-awareness and make fewer mistakes. And keeping a journal will keep the clarity of thoughts, your intentions, so that you will remain focused on the thing that truly count. Writing a journal offers you the opportunity to have regular one-to-one conversation with yourself. It focuses you to do some things in the world where deep thinking is important. It will also make you a clear thinker and help you live in a more intentional and enlightened way. In addition, it provides a central place where you can record your insights on important issues, note key success strategies that have worked for you, and commit to those things that you know are important to achieve for a high-quality professional life, as well as spiritual life. And your personal journal gives you a private place to flex your imagination and define your dreams. A journal is not a diary. A diary is a place where you record events while a journal is a place where you can analyze and evaluate them. Keeping a journal encourages you to consider what you do, why you do, and why you have and what you have learned from all that you have done. And writing in a journal promotes personal growth and wisdom by giving you a forum to study and then leverage your past for a greater success in future. Medical researchers have even found that writing a personal journal for as little as 15 minutes a day can improve health, functioning of your immune system, and your overall attitude. Remember, if your life is worth thinking about, it is worth writing about.